Hello, everybody. My name is Jim McElroy, and I am a recovering addict and alcoholic. And I am so grateful to be able to be speaking to you today from St. Louis, Missouri, on the banks of the Mississippi River and under the St. Louis Arch. Today we're going to be speaking about meditation, and I am so grateful to be able to speak to you today about a practice that I use every day of my life called the welcoming prayer. And the welcoming prayer is a companion practice to centering prayer. They're like two wings of the bird to fly. Centering prayer is a practice that we do 20 to 30 minutes twice a day as we surrender to God's presence and action within in stillness and in quiet. The welcoming prayer is for our day-to-day living, for the warp and woof, for the everyday experiences that cause us to lose our serenity, lose our composure, lose our peace of mind. When we get angry, when we get frustrated, when somebody cuts us off in traffic, when somebody butts in line at the grocery store and those afflictive emotions come up. Sometimes despair, anxiety, whatever it is. This is the perfect opportunity to use the welcoming prayer so we can consent again to God's presence and action within. So I'd like to give you just a little bit of a context for the welcoming prayer in terms of our recovery. First of all, I always go back to the very first step. We admitted we were powerless over alcohol, that our lives had become unmanageable. We admitted we were powerless. We surrender. We tell the truth. The principle of the first step is honesty. We get present in the present moment. And we accept that we are powerless. We surrender. We are there. The next touchstone with recovery would be the serenity prayer. And in that first part of the serenity prayer, we say, God, grant me the serenity to accept the things I cannot change. God, grant me the serenity, grant me that peace, grant me that acceptance, grant me the willingness to be in this present moment and to accept the things I cannot change. Just to be here with life on life's terms as life is. We know in recovery that eventually in the steps, we turn our life and our will over to the care of God. We do an inventory to see all the obstacles that are blocking us from the grace of God. And then we share with other people. Part of our tradition is to share, to talk, to be open. We say all the time, how do we do this? HOW, honesty, openness, and willingness. So then we move into the sixth step. The sixth step is we're entirely ready to have God remove all these defects of character. We don't change ourselves. This program is not a technique. It's not about fixing ourselves in any way. It's really about allowing ourselves to be open through honesty, openness, and willingness to let God do for us what we cannot do for ourselves. And then once we have reached that still point of just being open to letting God do for us, then we can move into the seventh step, which is humbly ask Him to remove our shortcomings. So that's the context that I'd like to give to you today as we move into the welcoming prayer practice. And I would like to call the welcoming prayer the 6 and 7 step prayer practice. We'll see how you like it. Thank you. As we move into the actual practice of the welcoming prayer, what I invite you to do is just try to ground yourself in the present moment. One great way to do that is to take a couple of deep, meaningful, thoughtful, aware breaths. Breathe in and breathe out a couple of times and just feel that breath, ruah, spirit, flowing in and out a couple of times just to help you get into the present moment. Another thing that I like to do is do a body scan, just kind of at the top of my head, down through my body, all the way to my toes, is just feel and experience what my body is telling me. When we talk about the welcoming prayer, we're talking about how these afflictive emotions affect our bodies. So when we're feeling anxious, uptight, angry, even rageful, it impacts our body. Sometimes people feel a tightness in their throat. Sometimes people feel anxiety in their chest. Sometimes people really feel it in their stomach or their low back. But everybody knows how their body responds to different emotional states. And we're aware of them. We ground ourselves in that presence of our bodies. Transformation happens in the body. So we just allow ourselves to feel it, stay with it, and be fully present to whatever we are experiencing in our body. And as we do that, we can move into the 3 movements of the welcoming prayer. And we start with the first movement, and I invite you to be present and feel and sink into what you are experiencing this moment in your body. Feel and sink into what you are experiencing this moment in your body. The second movement of the prayer is to welcome. Welcome, welcome, welcome what you are experiencing this moment in your body as an opportunity to consent to the divine indwelling. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Welcome what you are experiencing this moment in your body as an opportunity to consent to the divine indwelling. And the third movement of the prayer is to let go. And we say silently to ourselves, I let go of my desire for security, affection, and control, and embrace this moment as it is. I let go of my desire for security, affection, and control, and embrace this moment as it is. And now I'd like to move forward with a short reading from Thomas Keating. My spiritual teacher for a long time, although I have sponsors in the program, has been Father Thomas Keating, who I got to meet for the first time in about, probably 1996 or 1997. And Thomas passed away in 2018, but in my lifetime, I feel so blessed to have gotten to know him. You can also get to know him a little bit because he has a lot of videos on YouTube just under Thomas Keating, Keating. And this is what Thomas would tell us about the welcoming prayer. He would say, take and accept yourself just as you are, where you are. If you are aggressive, lustful, fearful, or shy and withdrawn, notice your feelings before, during, and after each incident without emotional reactions of blame, shame, anger, or discouragement. Let God work with your faults and limitations. Just recognize them and be with them without trying to force or correct them. As you watch them, feel them, accept them, their force and their exaggeration will gradually diminish. So now I'd like to walk through the 3 movements of the welcoming prayer one more time, just so you have this. We'll start with the first movement, which is to feel and sink into what you are experiencing this moment in your body. Feel and sink into what you are experiencing this moment in your body. The second movement is to welcome. Welcome, welcome, welcome what you are experiencing this moment in your body as an opportunity to consent to the divine indwelling. Welcome, welcome, welcome. And the third movement is to let go. We're letting go of those exaggerated emotions. We say silently to ourselves, I let go of my desire for security, affection, control, and embrace this moment as it is. Welcome, welcome, welcome. And finally, in the words of Thomas Keating, keep moving to the center of your being where divine love is, and welcome whatever bodily feeling or emotion that is happening. The present moment contains everything we need to be happy. Only our attitudes need to change. Thank you so much for listening. Have a wonderful day of meditation. I am so touched to be able to talk to people in recovery all over the world. I know it's not an easy road. Some of us make it, and unfortunately, some of us don't. But we have the tools in our toolbox to have a happy, joyous, and free life through the gift of recovery. If you'd like more information about the welcoming prayer, please check out the website www.cp12stepoutreach.org. Again, www.cp12stepoutreach.org. Thank you so much. Have a blessed day.